Welcome to musicmoveit.com, and today I am going to discuss how music is 90% business and 10% show. So some of you may or may not have heard that saying before, that music is 90% business, 10% show. Well, it's for the most part pretty true. If you want to succeed in music, you got to be all about business. Now, when I was in college and I went to school for audio engineering and music business and things like that, of course, they make you take a business course that's not related to music, just regular business, because it's all about business if you want to make it a career. So think about it like this. Whether you're indie or a label or on a major label, you are a product. Your music videos are kind of like a commercial for your album, and it's also a way for fans to connect with you, seeing things visually. So, and you want a revenue stream from all that. Now, I know there's a lot of artists out there, they're like, oh, you know, I don't want to do it for the business, and, you know, I just like playing guitar. Well, that's awesome, and that's great, but if you want a true career out of that, you got to treat it like a business, or else it's just basically a hobby. Be like a sponge and get as much knowledge as you possibly can about music and the music business, music industry, how things work. There's so much involved. Like I said, I went to college for this, and they taught us all this stuff. And even like certain subjects like publishing are still confusing to me. I mean, I know enough about it, but there's just so much stuff, different things. So it's insane. And, you know, if you have to teach yourself, if you're an indie artist, then do it. If you want to be more business savvy, take a course at a local college or something on business administration. It'll help you a ton. Taking a simple course like that. There's other things, you know, just business-wise. I mean, if you're an indie artist, you got to worry about handling money. If you don't have a big team around you, if you're indie and you have a pretty big team, then maybe somebody else is handling the money part or whatnot. But for the most part, you're going to handle a lot of things yourself, especially early on, which is totally fine. But also with other businesses, networking is key. You know, we've talked about this before. You got to get your face out there, go to local shows, go to support other artists, but also promote yourself there, like hand out business cards, hand out those, you know, color postcard things about your album or whatever with your website on it. Hand out thumb drives with an MP3 on there, and then like a bio, or not bio, well, you can put your bio on there, but also with like on the drive it'll have an MP3, and it'll also have like photos or the CD cover, you know, as a file, as a JPEG, things like that. You could have a note in there thanking them for listening to the song, and maybe a link to their website, your website rather. Stuff like that. There's tons of ways to do it, but it's all networking. And of course, network with other people. Networking is key. Get to know other people. Not only will you look like a nice professional person, you know, introducing yourself to other bands or other artists or other managers, but maybe one day in the future they'll help you. And I've said that before. But yes, they could be stepping stones to something else, so treat people nicely. But back to the business part, how music is a business. If you want to make a career out of it, networking is key. Think of it like that. Think of it as your music is the product, you're the brand, and your videos are like promotion commercials, like any other business. Like, you know, you see it on TV, a commercial for tuna. It's promoting the tuna. Also know your market. We've talked about that before. Marketing is important. You know, you want to know before you start putting on music, who are you marketing to? What age? What area? Just the United States, or are you going to market to the other countries, you know? And men, is it just men, just women? Are you going to be marketing to hip-hop fans, or maybe like a mix of rock and hip-hop fans? It depends on your music genre. I was just using that as an example, but yeah, and you got to play the part as a business. Yeah, I've mentioned this before also, but I'm going to put it in your head again. Be pro. Get letterhead with your company name on it. Get photos, like up here. I have it framed, but this is when I was signed to an indie label. Sorry for the thing. Black and white photo, 8x10. You could do color if you want, but traditionally they do black and white. That's me from like early 2000s when I was putting out albums, and I was actually signed to a pretty decent label, an indie label, but it was national. And that's an 8x10 photo. Color or black and white. Traditionally, you do black and white. Artist name is right there. The label put their little logo there. You know, website info, I believe, is on this side, stuff like that. So, my point is, do pro stuff. Get professional photos like that. You could go online and search for companies that do manufacture headshots. It's the same thing, basically, or band and artist photos, 8x10s. And you can find companies online. There's a lot of them, and it's not that expensive. Like, you just send them your JPEG or whatever format you want to choose, and they'll print these photos off for you. And then you send them in your press kits that you mail out. Or this label did signing sessions where, you know, they pass out the 8x10 photos to fans, and you could sign them and things like that. So, you know, you could use all that stuff. It's good to have these, though. Write a good bio, nothing too long, straight to the point. Use proper words, proper spelling, proper, everything. Commas where they should be. Have someone else proofread it for you. You got to do this stuff pro. You don't want to look amateur, because a business will not last if they're doing amateur stuff. You know what I mean? So get all that shit together. Business cards. You got to be a business. You can't half-ass it, because all that stuff will help you as you go along. But anyway, I'm going to keep this one short. I just wanted to talk briefly about that because I saw someone talking about how the music industry is, and it's mainly a business thing, and of course it is. I mean, if it's involved with money and you're selling a product, it's a business. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to look below in the description. There's tons of links for artists and bands, things that'll help you out. So look down there, take advantage of them. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Click that little bell next to the subscription button or whatever, and it'll notify you whenever I put out a video. I want to thank you again. I'm loving the comments. Keep commenting. I try to answer fairly swiftly. And I will see you next video. Thank you.